Yeah, when the photos came out about Post Malone's compound or private property or whatever the fuck words you want to call
No,
it.
you can say compound. It's a
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
up it's a straight up inland Epstein Island. It's
Yeah, yeah. It's like an Epstein Island if it was designed by Takashi 69. Is kind of what's happening here. You know, sprinkle in just a little bit of R. Kelly's interior decorating on the inside, and we got it to work out okay.
Here's the quote that makes it a compound from Post Malone is, "It's a free country out there. Like, you can buy suppressors in Utah. You can do open carry. Walk into a grocery store with a handgun on your hip. Cowboy shit." End quote.
yeah, walk into the grocery store and buy some fucking 3.2% beer.
Yeah, I'm such a wild child. I can't wait to live in a state where the nightlife ends at 9 p.m. This sounds perfect.
He describes his gold-plated Glocks as fun and practical.
Even a regular Glock is barely fucking practical, let a gold-plated one. Jesus
This
Christ.
is what happens when you're not allowed to socially drink places. You just become like this artisanal gun guy instead of an artisanal craft brewery guy.
Wait, speaking of, let me just there we go. I think that showed up on my mic.
I don't know what that was.
This is the Raw & Sons Brewing Company Midnight Cab. It's a Cabernet Barrel-Aged Black Saison, and it's 9.5%, so pour the fuck up.
He was blasting that cork.
Oh, dude, it's like purple. This
Beautiful.
beer is fucking purple. This rules. Like, you know, like, when you get, like, the, like, really dark, like, grape Powerade or, like, grape juice or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, that's what this looks like.
Fierce dark.
Alright, well, this is a beer review podcast now.
Yeah, definitely a compound. So what point does Post Malone just move to that one state that we keep referencing that has all the people that just don't give a shit and like live as like sovereign citizens?
Oregon.
Yeah. Yeah, at what point does he set up a fucking thing in the woods in fucking the Pacific Northwest? And there just happen to be a bunch of white nationalists hanging around the compound, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like,
He's just like taking money from 14-year-olds in cities and then turning it into like defensible compounds all along the Pacific Northwest.
Or what if he's working with leftists and he's building up, you know, various splinter cell organizations that can all then be coordinated together. Each of his tour stops, you know, he's actually supplying arms and munitions to various revolutionary groups.
that'd be pretty rad. And I mean, Utah would be the place to start. There's fucking nobody there to begin with. So, also, I checked the Wikipedia for Post Malone's political views. Post has a tattoo of U.S. President John F. Kennedy on his arm and has said that Kennedy was the only president to speak out against the crazy corruption stuff that's going on in our government nowadays. Nowadays being the 1960s, I guess.
Yeah.
Post Anon.
Oh, he's a Bernie guy, though, so fucking, you know, who knows? He
God,
might,
Oh,
Bernie-
whoa,
he
whoa,
might be
whoa.
woke.
Well, now we have to, you know, like, make sure
Yeah.
that we don't criticize him and we have to put
delete
him
this
up on the
delete this whole
pedestal.
bit. Yeah, re-record it. Yep.
I love Post Malone. I think his music is very good.
It's Bo trying to do a bad Kelton voice.
Like recording it back afterward. Yeah. Yeah. So hey, you know, who knows? Maybe it is some Antifa super soldier training ground. Maybe it's a fucking dumb millionaire party house. You know,
it's
I'm gonna
we'll
believe.
never know.
I'm just gonna, yeah, for the sake of my own mental health, say, oh well, I guess it could be either.
yeah. I mean, like, as long as he doesn't try and pull a Jared Leto, and he's just out there, you know, really trying to like legitimately form a cult, or do
Yeah.
what Kanye's doing and having those church meetings. Basically, the second you have everyone wearing clothes that are all one giant color, that's when you should start running, is what I'm saying. Like that's a dead giveaway. No one has ever attended a meeting where everyone's wearing either all red or all brown or all white, definitely all white, and been like, well, everything's perfectly normal here and nothing bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
Jared
the
Leto
most-
just had like a really good day at the spa, and he really, really wanted to just like flex for himself.
Look how moisturized I am, followers.
God.
So ethereally hydrated.
Honestly, me this week.
Yeah. Hey man, that's self-care. You gotta fucking moist up.
It is absolutely self-care.
If there's one person I've always compared you to, Zach, it's definitely Jared Leto.
Psychic Dolphin Garage.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Psychic Dolphin Garage. I'm one of your co-hosts, Kelton. You can find me on Twitter at SexConfetti. Joining me today is my good buddy Zach. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic today. We're all doing great here in the garage.
Woo.
Yeah. Bo is also with us today.
Yeah, mostly. How's it going, folks? At Schnedwelb on Twitter. You already know I'm drinking. Got this fucking hipster beer here, so I'm set to record a pod. I don't know about you boys, but what are we talking about this week? Disneyland? Disney World?
Yeah, definitely.
Disneyman?
Disney Man is the latest superhero that's gonna come out.
Oh, you joke about that, but I mean, fucking give it like 3 years.
He's part Captain America, part Jedi, part insert unknown future property that Disney will buy.
He's also a princess, and much like Donald Duck, he wears no pants.
That's just Bibleman.
Oh, God.
Oh wait, your youth group also watched that version of Bibleman?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been talking to my therapist about that one.
I mean,
It's,
he has a lightsaber. He has divine powers, and he also does karate. So it's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bibleman, for the people who don't know quite what that is, it really is like someone just kind of mashed up together Superman and Batman, gave him a purple and yellow outfit and a lightsaber, and then was like, okay, here, walk around and
Preach the word of the Lord.
convert people.
Yeah.
Some
And remember, all of your supervillains are just barely veiled. The Seven Temptations.
Oh yeah, rather than an actual adversary, it's just he's fighting the concept of greed, as portrayed by a dude in a suit with big grabby hands or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would actually be interesting if you had a gritty reboot of Bibleman, but it's done in the
Bibleman
Punisher
teams up
style.
with Moon Knight. Yeah.
He has just a cross branded into his forehead, and he just has yellow and purple body paint put over him. And his
Absolutely.
mission is to just bomb the New York Stock Exchange.
He's got a bunch of I know.
Greed.
I'm gonna flip these fucking tables.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of fucking Bible verses scarred into his torso.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, we just are pitching the superhero reboot of the film Seven. Is what we're doing here.
No, I think we should get in contact with those shitty God's Not Dead, Christian movie production companies.
Kevin Sorbo is Bibleman.
I was thinking it's the Valhalla Rising sequel.
Amazing.
It's Mads Mikkelsen playing Bibleman.
Oh yeah, I've watched that.
Honestly, I think I just came.
Yeah. That's been our show, folks.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one out there.
Somebody get Zach a towel.
That's the rule. We go until Zach comes. So that's
Sorry.
why some episodes are an hour and a half and some are 20
It
minutes.
was quick this week, yeah.
I mean, he was on vacation, so a little bit of
A
build
little
up.
more relaxed, yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't stuck in his own head half the time. So he was in the moment with us,
I was I was really here this week. I was really present.
Well, you know who else was really here and present and cognizant for once in his fucking life?
My boy Corn Pop.
Yeah, that's right. Corn Pop and T-Bone 2020. Let every politician's imaginary friends debate on the stage,
I'd vote for him.
Jesus.
Fucking tunnel snake ass dude.
Yeah, the Democratic debate happened over the week, and before the debate occurred, Biden had a overall 6-point lead, and after just basically fulfilling the extremely high standards of not shitting himself in public or openly starting to bleed from the mouth or something, he rose 3 points and now commands a 9-point lead. And so, his buddy Corn Pop would be proud, and I guess we really shouldn't expect anything else from Democrats because, the average shit-lib Dem does have some pretty weird allegiances.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, anytime people talk about the Democratic Party, I think about the people I know who are more leftist and just, like, begrudgingly voting in the Democratic Party and not the actual, like, blue no matter who, blue dog Democrat type guys.
Yeah.
The ones who think that the United Auto Workers who are going on strike pretty soon, as of this recording, they're probably already on strike by the time this comes out, thinking that those guys are the most radical people in the world.
Yeah, these dudes striking for fucking bare minimum job protections, like, that like in any other country would be seen as honestly not at all generous. But good old USA.
Yeah,
You really got to fight tooth and nail for that shit.
We want OSHA to be more involved. No, ban. How could you? General Motors doesn't stand for that sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But, again, so I have to think about the average Democratic voter, like, get into that headspace. Mm-hmm. And there was a chart that's been circling around, and I don't know if y'all have seen it or not. It talks about Democratic institutional confidence. Like, what do Democrats as a whole put their faith in?
Yeah, we should put this out on the Twitter or some day of the episode because it's real wild to just take a look at.
Yeah. So if you had to go with who they had the least confidence in, what does the average shitlib have the least confidence in? If you had to guess,
Orange Man.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chart.
Yep,
and
the executive branch, absolutely. So he's at the bottom, and then they'd be like, it would be ridiculous to have one person have just all that power. That would be insane, and have it be so controlling. What do you think the top 3 things that they have faith in are?
The Supreme Court.
Hold on, I'm going to count them up from the bottom of the top 3 up to the first. The military, which neat, good. Followed by colleges and universities. Okay, that sucks for different reasons, but sure. And then Amazon, the one and only.
The Amazon rainforest? They believe that it, is
that's
good
the
at...
Amazon they're referring to.
I would hope in a much better world. Yes, yeah. This is a really interesting graphic, just because it's this bar chart ranking the no confidence to a great deal of confidence on like a scale of 1 or 0 to 5, right? 1 to 5. Where the biggest margin between all this is the executive branch is a 2 and Amazon is a 3.2. So these people really don't fucking stand for anything.
No, they don't. They thankfully have some friends who have a healthy disbelief of a whole lot, but
like right in the middle, 2.9 and 2.88 are organized labor and local police. Like that's where these people are at.
That's right, neck and neck. In my head, union workers and cops have the same degree of credibility and faith, in my opinion. God.
Oh, and another interesting one. I think Kelton, you pointed this out in the group chat earlier. Religion and Facebook are neck and neck at 2.39 on the trust scale. Which it's they surveyed boomers is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
These idiots trust the FBI more than they trust the press.
They trust the FBI 0.02 points less than Google. It's something for sure.
So if there was a Google News alert from a news story about the FBI and their ties to organized labor and their investigations in that.
Haven't you heard about all the fake news going around online?
Disseminated by Russians?
I mean, I guess it really does depend though what people think of when they think of like the news or the media or the press. Because I mean, like technically speaking, Bill Maher is a member of the press now, even though it's considered entertainment technically.
I mean, technically we're members of the press.
Sorry.
Where's my fucking blue check mark?
Yeah.
Like
I just use
journalist pass.
technically on both sides. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm
that's
still
me.
arching for that one. Yeah.
Centrist till the day I die. But the fact that Bill Maher thinks that Amy Klobuchar is the perfect compromise candidate, like, because it's going to come down, of course, to Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden. So why not just have people go for Klobuchar? You know, that weird photocopy of Hillary Clinton with somehow less charisma. I think the main difference, though, really between Klobuchar and Clinton has got to be that Klobuchar doesn't have like a sex predator for a husband, you know, and that's what people like.
Absolutely.
If Klobuchar was married to someone like Bill Clinton, you know, we would all know it. And instead, it's probably some mild-mannered accountant.
The most possible boring person. Yeah.
Yeah. I think in my head, though, like the logic of, we need to find a compromise candidate. Like, this is exactly what happens. People reject the idea of Bernie, and then they say, it's Biden, but we have to appeal to the progressives, so let's do Warren. But then as the campaign continues on, it becomes, the furthest left realistically is Warren, and now we have to compromise that with Biden, so let's do Klobuchar. And then eventually it's going to be, Klobuchar is not electable, so let's do Biden.
Yeah, the compromise goes from, hey, let's go to Long John Silver's. No, let's go to literally any other fucking fast food place. Well, then I guess we'll just go eat out of a dumpster. All right, Long John Silver's it is, aka the dumpster. Coming out swinging against Long John Silver's on this pod.
We talk about food here on this podcast, and
food and beer, and that's all I know.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not surprising that Bill Maher would have a shit take. The dude has shit takes for a living. Yeah.
The motherfucker didn't even know that he was Jewish for the longest time, which, I mean, like, come on, guy.
What does that mean?
No. Like, you don't know your family history. You haven't had a conversation with your parents about any of their lineage or anything else. Like, you're just born into this world and thinking, like, I'm me, and that's all that matters.
That's the whole story of Bill Maher. I mean, considering the way he acts and speaks and just his general demeanor, dude was probably grown into that. So, yeah. Yeah, but the direct quote, literally, I'm looking hard at Amy Klobuchar. You know why? Because this is not an insult to Amy Klobuchar. I like you, but they put generic Democrat on the ballot, they win. Plus, he added, she's a woman. That moves a lot with the wokesters.
When did generic Democrat win in 2016?
Are you kidding me? Generic Democrat won in 2000, in 2004. You know, generic Democrat's been killing it, all right?
Yeah, generic Democrat won against Barack Obama in the 2008 primaries.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, who was that?
Oh, that's right. Charismatic Amy Klobuchar.
Yeah.
That's my new name for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
She may have some bodies on her, but goddamn, at least she can give.
At least she's got a little bit of that like fun grandma, like that grandma who like you find out when you're 17 that she smokes weed. You know?
Yeah. Hillary Clinton's Pokemon Go to the polls is a whole lot better than Amy Klobuchar's. On the first day in office, I'll do this. On the second day, I'll do this. On the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth days, I'll do this. And on the seventh day, I'll do that. Even though God says it's a day of rest.
It's like if fucking Leslie Knope tried to Full Metal Alchemist her own Hillary Clinton into existence. That's you would get Amy Klobuchar coming out of the summoning circle begging for death.
That's exactly what it is. I'm
turning that into a bumper sticker. I don't fucking care.
Amy Klobuchar, yeah, fuck it, deal with it. I'm still around, bitches.
Maher also said, even the centrists in the Democratic Party are pretty far left. Who the fuck are you, you dork? Jesus.
Yeah, I don't think he's had a conversation with anyone at all. These people
live in an entirely different world.
Yeah, at the very least, people need to look and see, who is inspiring the base, who is getting, the most money from people, and like the answers are, if you had to guess the top two people in terms of amount of contributions, money wise, not number of individual donors, who would you guess the top two are?
I mean Biden, obviously, because he's their golden boy. He's their sprightly young lad that they can't wait to win. And I mean second, I mean maybe Buttigieg, or either him or Harris.
Well, what if I told you you were right about Buttigieg?
Okay.
I think, by the way, his name is supposed to be pronounced Buddha Judge.
Buddy
That's
gig.
like what his like cool hip T-shirts say. It's like a picture of Buddha and a Judge Judy thing.
Oh,
And
that's really cringy.
Yeah, it's real bad. But at coming in at number one at 36.2 million is Bernie Sanders.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Our man. Yeah, but he also has by far and away the most individual donors as well.
Of course. Yeah.
Then comes Pete Buttigieg. God, I can't.
Mayor Pete.
I
Mayo Pete.
refuse. But a lot of that is PAC money, and a lot of that is a lot of let's just say shadow donations. Then coming in at number 3 is Elizabeth Warren.
Oh.
Yeah. And then number 4 is, guess who?
Is that Biden?
Harris, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, Biden's only, quote unquote, raised $22 million. But realistically speaking,
22 million that we know of.
Yeah, he's also so far and away the front runner at the moment, like until the actual.
This is not a poll for social capital. It's literal capital, I guess.
And I have a feeling that once, either Sanders or Warren or whoever it is ends up winning on the first two primaries in Iowa and New Hampshire, all of a sudden Biden's total contributions to his campaign are going to skyrocket to try and preserve him. That, or they'll all go to Warren, and then, we'll have to find a way to make that work. It'll be good times.
Good times indeed.
Yeah.
The only good time will be when Biden's dead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In Minecraft, keeping it satirical.
Yeah.
Making sure it's not no legal threats. Yeah, exactly. I forget where I stole that bit from, but it's a good bit. So thank you, whoever's Valor I'm stealing.
Can't wait to kill Biden in our Roblox server.
There you go.
I guess the real question
You've oofed
that
your
we have
last
to,
oof, Biden.
I think the real question we have to figure out is what the actual odds of a candidate in the Democratic in the next Democratic debate will be asked the question of, are they going to take away our AR-15s and are they going to take away our vapes? Like what are we going to do here? Like,
Yeah.
it's so precious to us, The way that the dirtbag left is with vapes is how the alt-right is with guns.
Or also vapes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was going to say the centrist response is a true Post Malone type thing. Go with coffee,
Ugh.
Does that actually make Post Malone like the true centrist? Because I can see him being into vapes and guns and coffee and beer.
He's definitely the kind of dude who buys that fucking Black Rifle coffee or whatever, because it's like, oh man, the logo is cool,
Yeah, and he doesn't look into it anything
into
beyond
the
that.
background. Yeah, no, it's a cool logo, cool name. Yeah.
He's making himself a cup of Black Rifle coffee and pouring it into his not me, us burning coffee mug.
Jesus.
Now that's
Post Malone has never clicked on an about page in his life.
Post Malone has never clicked on a page. Like it's all scrolling for this man. It's just straight on scrolling through all the bullshit.
He has someone else like pages for him because he has a thing about liking them. It's just kind of
But before we get too wrapped up in Post Malone too much, because Lord knows he's an interesting man to talk about. I think Beto's stunt got him a little bit of attention from fucking boomer Facebook, but I don't think it's gonna give him any more staying power than he had.
No. He's like, yeah, guess what? I'm the candidate who fucks. Then he's like, all right, rebrand. I'm the candidate who swears. And now he's like, I'm the candidate who yells things, which, like
Which Bernie's been on since the fucking 70s.
he yells for us, though, and that's
Yeah.
the important thing.
Before we get end up moving on from the fucking Democrat debates, that has been a continual point of just hilarity for me. That there are all these fucking New York Times writer types who are like, oh, we don't like how Bernie's yelling, and it's like, how the fuck are you not yelling at this point? How are you not at least like a little bit pissed off all of the time?
Absolutely. The New
So
York
much for your
Times.
fucking resistance, you chodes.
The New York Times is bad. The New York Times is now written about our Facebook group. New York Times always writes about how bad Bernie is, and
I'm saying New York Times, but I mean, just those fucking, lib dork upper class folks,
Yeah, he's talking about those people who live in New York. Zach.
And the New York Times is falling in line with the other like press companies in this country to repress the vapors. Just the same way that they came out and backed Guaido, the traitor, the Venezuelan traitor that is being tried for high treason.
Hell yeah.
That is the same way that all of those companies are now lockstep with each other, speaking out against jewel pods.
Yep.
I thought it would be fine.
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be fantastic. Like, that shaking hands meme, just of people in the Civil War, women in the Civil War with all the petticoats, and then Trump red cap Republicans and shaking hands over. Oh Lord, they're getting the vapors.
Oh no.
Wow, that was a long walk up to that one, but it was well worth it, man. Fuck me, that's good.
Yeah, I sure am glad that the black market, that the unregulated black market vaping is once again inspired the federal government to overreach into our personal freedoms and very Reagan-esquely start removing those freedoms from us.
Yeah. It's, I don't want to particularly cape for vapors, so to speak, because it's dorky. I'm still on that.
It's bearding. We're bearding for them.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah. I'm still on that bad 2014 meme shit of like, dude, it looks like you're sucking a robot's dick. No, it's fucking do whatever you want. Vaping's fine. But, the fact that like this has been the sticking point, like, oh shit, we got to mobilize to do something about fucking vapes. Like, of course the everybody's fucking meme comparison has been to guns, and shootings. But I saw one that was comparing it to lawn darts. Y'all know about lawn darts?
Yeah.
They killed someone a while back, and then
yard game from the 70s that killed one kid because that was the premise. It's basically like a Mario Party minigame where you fucking just hunk a piece of metal into the sky and then run away from it. Which, I mean, that's great. I'd play that. But yeah, it kills one kid and they're like, nope, it's off the market. And vaping kills like 6 people because of like, you're essentially vaping like whatever the people who made it had lying around. And now that's off the market too. Well, it's not yet, but trouble's a brewing.
Look, I'm just saying, dealers ruined cocaine and degraded the quality for years. But it wasn't until the CIA started running crack cocaine into communities of color that the government stepped in.
So basically what you're telling me is that we're dealing with Reaganomics 2.0, where this time around the CIA is going to start illegally smuggling these black market jewel pods in, getting susceptible suburb people. And they're just going to be like, oh, hey, check it out. It's mango flavored. It's mint flavored. It goes beyond what you can possibly expect.
Yeah, no, the CIA is going to smuggle jewel pods into schools and distribute them to like middle school and high school kids, and they're going to die from like the chemicals that they put into these jewel pods, and they're going to start blaming, like they're going to be like, "Oh, you thought guns were dangerous in your school? Well, it's not guns we need to ban, it's actually smoking devices. Your kids should be smoking cigarettes like good Americans."
Yeah, I mean, I guess that really is kind of the thing that makes me feel like this has got to be a conspiracy on some point. It's the fact that like all of this is really coming from cigarette companies. You know, people are getting worried about it, and they're like, just ban it. Yep,
Absolutely. No, like you said, the Reagan era is back. Like we're like the cigarette companies rule, the coal companies have gotten their, fair share, and now it's the time for the tobacco companies because they're going to be in direct competition with marijuana and like hemp producers now because all those things have been legalized. So it's their turn to kind of get like a boost, as it were.
It's just going to be a bunch of stupid fucking. I can't imagine there being a Charles in Charge reboot that takes place starring the kid from Young Sheldon in it instead of Michael J. Fox.
Oh,
I'm just really anxious about all this, honestly, because the fact that Zoomers don't smoke is the one thing that doesn't make them cooler than me. And once they start up, I mean, shit, I'm done for. I might as well just go full boomer.
What I'm definitely maybe proposing as a possible outlet for all of these Patreon funds that we have pouring in all the time,
of course,
is we invest in massive barrels of the vape juice. Mm-hmm. I forget what the chemical is that they use, but we just get like barrels of like e-liquid.
Wasn't that Belle Delphine's whole thing a couple months ago?
She was shipping
e-liquid,
out
right?
E-liquid.
That's what it's called, right?
Fuck you, bro. E-liquid. God, that's horrible.
Yep.
So, legitimate question: if we're gonna fill a whole barrel of this stuff, what's going to cost more at this point? A whole barrel full of e-juice for vapes, or a barrel of oil now that the United States is blaming Iran for these drone strikes that the Yemeni rebels are doing?
Well, let's just say I'm going to be walking and vaping a lot more, which does not answer your question at all, but, whatever. I don't fucking care. I'm not here to answer questions. No,
I'm here to commit imperialism with impunity.
Absolutely. I love the drone strike. I'm also going to ignore Kelton's question. You can try again later.
But Cape Ball over here.
I love this drone strike so much because I know that they actually did develop, like, spend a lot of time developing these drones, and like they have engineers over there that have presumably been trained by, like, we're assuming that because the rebels are backed by the U.S. and other affiliated countries, that they have been trained to engineer these drones and then trained to pilot them and all that stuff. But I just love the idea of all this faith that has been put into Amazon by the boomers, that they just Amazon primed a drone and strapped some C4 to it and just flew it into this oil production facility, and there's just like an army of just drones just flying in that they just order on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, honestly, if I were a lot more accelerated than I were, that's how I would just fucking file my 2 weeks anytime I need to. Just like, hey, Amazon, hook your boy up. Drone C4 combo package. I'll have it to you later that day, and you just fly it wherever you need to.
Yeah, it's 1 day delivery if you're within range of one of their facilities.
And who isn't now? It's everywhere. Yeah, no, this is pretty cool because the Saudi Arabian Kingdom is kind of a shit country. And we're kind of a shit country alongside, like, hand in hand with them.
Us?
I really
what? Come on,
right?
now.
No, U.S.
Sorry.
Common point of confusion.
Yeah, no, I'm watching these football highlights. So I'm halfway listening, and I was
Okay,
just
cool.
like, come
That's
on,
good
bro.
to know while we're recording.
Don't
if y'all
give
just want
me
to
a
start a fucking
personal
football
attack like
podcast,
that.
by all means, don't let me stop you.
I mean, like, a leftist football podcast. What? Get 4 fans? Oh, we'd be
Yeah,
rolling
that's-
in it. Come on. Now.
We're like
that's
3
pretty
weeks
niche.
away from convincing Bo to just do like a mock draft with us and then score the points on an Excel sheet.
I have fucking said it before. I will totally do fantasy football as long as I get to roll some D20s. All right, that's the compromise.
I mean, if you think that I won't find a way for you to be able to roll d20s,
But anyway, yes, this is like the third or fourth time now that because who knows what actually the circumstances of this are, but the response of it is that, hey, let's go to war with Iran. Literally, the fucking president has said that we are locked and loaded.
yeah,
So this is what, like, attempt number 3 or 4 to get us to go to war with them.
He
This
just got
presidency, at
rid of
least?
John Bolton. Like I thought that was it.
That was the guy, Trump. Yeah, like, way to fuck it up.
Trump has the same logic as my girlfriend when she's deciding that she wants to go eat at Panera Bread but doesn't want to tell me. And so it's like, oh, let's go eat somewhere. And like, where do you want to go? Oh, anywhere is fine. Oh, well, let's go to Schlotsky's Deli. No. It's just too much bread. I don't think
How
that
about
would be
pizza?
too good. Yeah, pizza
Oh.
sounds really good then. Nah, I just, it's so much, and I don't want to have it take up a bunch of space in the fridge. And eventually you start getting to the idea of like, okay, you just tell me what you want to do instead of creating all these arbitrary reasons about why exactly.
No.
it's Panera.
See, you
Then
have
it's Red Bull
to.
time.
She wants to share her thought process with you, and so you have to also go through the thought process that she spent all day doing.
You have
in
to go
order
on this Panera adventure with her.
Yeah, in order to catch up to where she's at.
Is this whole section of the podcast going to be women be breading? Am I right, guys?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm down for it. I'm so fucking here for it.
It's really weird how they can handle kink play but can't handle gluten. Right? Let's delve into this, fellas.
Hey, Borat voiced my wife. Am I right? Or should I say Boomer voiced my wife?
Just a riding whip that's an Olive Garden breadstick that's been left out for 2 days.
As if there are any Olive Garden breadsticks that haven't been left out for 2 days. Those things come out of the fucking oven old.
Absolutely. There's never enough garlic on them.
Okay, well, what if, in order to get us to go to war with Iran, Trump starts to hold a press conference where he's like, look at these barrels of oil behind me. We recently found out a massive smuggling operation. And he opens up some of the barrels, and inside are just a whole bunch of dead fetuses.
Oh no!
Look at them.
That really gin up the boomers. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're-
The worst thing about it is that they're white fetuses. We don't know where they came from. But
Interesting.
strong Aryan fetuses are dying because of this.
Yeah.
Our good American fecal material.
Phrasing.
I mean, like, if it can happen, it sounds far-fetched, but, like, apparently, there's some doctors out there who just, like, keep some souvenirs,
And now you'd think that this is like absolutely some like pro-life memeage.
Because that's exactly what it sounds like, yeah. Like something, some bad fucking, like, image macro that's, like, half papyrus, half Comic Sans, shared by some boomer would post,
Yeah, for people unaware, the headline is that thousands of fetal remains found in the Illinois home of a former abortion doctor. So this guy who was a abortion doctor got his license revoked in 2015, died, and when people went into his house to gather his things, then they found thousands of these preserved fetuses, which, like, as a guy who's recently going to be quitting his job, I also believe in stealing things from work on your way out, but this really just takes
or on
it
your
to a
way
whole
in,
new
for that
level.
matter, or on your way, really, just in general. When we were discussing some of the stuff to part the kimono here a little bit. We were discussing some of the stuff as the prep for the show tonight. I was like, oh yeah, it's just like that Johnny Cash song where he steals a Ford part every day from the factory and has himself a whole ass car when he quits. Except, not quite sure I want to know what this guy was planning on building with 2,200 medically preserved fetal sets of fetal remains. Like, I mean, fuck. Speaking of Full Metal Alchemist, Jesus Christ.
I mean, if you're gonna copy yourself, if you're gonna clone yourself cell by cell, you gotta have a lot of material to work with.
Yeah. It's literally just for the stem cells or whatever.
Yeah, because that's what stem cells are used for.
That's how it works. It's just straight up cloning.
Yeah.
No, there's no real takeaway here other than, hey, this is weird and fucked up.
Well, I mean, like, there's a lot of material that then we can mine from this. You know,
Yeah,
like,
there was a lot of material in that house. There's 2,000 babies, Bo. The article does say that there was no evidence that medical, what's the quote? I cannot. It's disappeared into the article, but it says there was like no evidence of any medical procedures being performed, which is, cool. Maybe he really did just like take babies home in jars after aborting them.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure a lot of these babies were supposed to be buried. I'm sure there's a lot of like boxes of ashes that
It's just full of a whole bunch of catnip, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh no, this is poor sweet little Stuart. Oh, why? Oh, what sort of God would let this happen?
God, doing genetic testing on thousands of aborted fetuses.
We did a 23andMe on those ashes you sent us, and he's a lot of smelling salt. I don't know how to break this to you, but
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I mean, he's dead, so you can't like press charges, but I would hope they kind of look into this at least, because this is some pretty serious oversight, if not.
Yeah, no, and I mean, he did have his state license revoked. The reason he had it revoked was he had a lack of registry of patients, he had a lack of policies regarding medical abortion, and a governing body to determine policies for any of his clinics. Like, clinics and hospitals have, like, ethics boards and have, like, policy departments, which is not to be confused like an HR department, like, actually, like, lawyers on retainer, I want to say.
can't wait for them to be like a new Fox TV show about this guy. Be like, meet the doctor who plays by his own set of rules.
Jesus.
Yeah, the libertarian side of Fox outweighs the boomer side of Fox. Yeah.
You've heard of The Good Doctor on ABC. Welcome to The Abortion Doctor.
God, that's cursed.
Like, oh, well, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We have some fantastic news. Little Terrence is coming along and developing into a nice, healthy boy. He's 7 months, and we look forward to seeing you guys at our next visit. Comes in the abortion doctor. Being like, guess what? Hey, bro, how about me and you go to the Bahamas? Leave this chick behind, huh? Let's go do this. Just a ball of bad influence driving people to realize like what sort of world they would bring this child into.
Amazing.
It's it's a SWAT team, but instead of SWAT, it just says abortion across their shirts, and they bust into the room and they're like, "Are you the mother?" She's like, "Yes, he's the father." And they like take him, they grab him, and like take him away, and they sit him down, and they do like a slideshow of like, and here's what it's like to change a diaper. It's just a picture of like a room like covered in shit, and it's just a bunch of like anti-child propaganda,
Anti-child propaganda,
anti-birth propaganda.
They have to sit through a whole episode of Paw Patrol.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, that would.
Good God.
You're not allowed to become a father until you watch all of Caillou.
Oh, Jesus.
I can't handle it. It's like he's Charlie Brown, but I don't understand. Why are people friends with him?
Why is this bald child such an asshole? Yeah. Yeah, fuck
I
Caillou, though.
just want to know why. Why? I don't know.
Jesus.
It really does seem though like something that people would share in between, like, again, boomers on Facebook. And so I really hate when, like, a month from now, when all of our parents catch wind of this, and then they're like, "Oh, do you see this? This is exactly why we have to be pro-life." So that way, then more abortion doctors like this will come into the world.
Yeah. It's a real roundabout thing, but I'm here for it. That's the actual 5-dimensional chess.
Because
Yeah.
you were once, twice, 3 times a baby.
I don't
Shut
like
the
that.
fuck up. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was cut up once, twice, no longer a baby.
Oh no.
Well, I quit. We'll talk to you guys later.
I can't defend that statement, but you know.
Well, I did spend the weekend in Dallas, and we actually did ride the DART system. We took the train. We took the train to to the city to eat food, and then back out of the city because it's a lot easier to park at a train station with like a super empty parking lot
Yeah.
than it is to park anywhere in downtown Dallas.
Or, yeah, Dallas just parking, driving, everything, despite being a car-oriented city, is really bad at having cars.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not because the city was built to be car oriented; it was built to be chauffeur oriented.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunately accurate. Yeah. No, honestly, the DART's pretty good, all things considered. It's just that it's the whole fucking spoke wheel kind of situation. Somebody on Numtot said that. I don't actually know anything about trains. Other than that, they go fast and I like them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of inefficient because you'll end up in like fucking Richardson, and it's like, well, I'd like to get to somewhere that isn't Richardson. Cool, that'll be 3 hours.
Yep. I liked it. I mean, it was like a 40-minute ride, I think, in town, and then it's like 40 minutes back out of town. Paid like
Yeah,
$3
it's honestly
for
pretty
it.
solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I paid like $3 for it. Like, I'll give up time to not pay for a $15 Uber.
Yeah,
One
and to
way.
not be driving in Dallas traffic. I mean, that's assuming that you have a car, even.
Yeah.
You know, like fucking sitting there on 635, wanting to die, wanting to kill. It's really a wonder that there isn't more of a Mad Max situation there.
Yeah, and it's amazing that the propaganda, against stuff like public transit is so effective for people that never leave their houses and go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, the same way that propaganda against Medicare for all, specifically Bernie's Medicare for all, not Harris and Warren's Medicare for all.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean capitalism plus advantage plan Medicare for all?
Access to Medicare. Yeah.
Yeah. The platinum level Medicare, not the silver level plan.
Yeah.
And I guess we could learn a thing or two from other countries, from literally every other country,
Like Moscow. Like I was saying.
or Paris, or London.
Yeah. Or Jacksonville, Florida.
Why do we keep referencing Moscow, guys?
Well, recently they rolled out their parade of city service vehicles. And honestly, I don't know a lot of background to it other than the cute clip I saw on Twitter. But it was posted by, was it the New York Times or was it the New Yorker?
I don't know.
It was the Washington Post. Somebody fact check me. Whatever. It's one of those shitty publications. And it's literally just it's a fleet of garbage trucks and street sweepers and just a bunch of like big, public service utility vehicles cruising down the fucking road in Moscow.
Yep.
And
cruising down the street in my 6'4".
yeah. And that's where the lyrics stop. to retain our respecting women juice. But yeah, no, like, and basically the thing was that they were acting all snooty about it, like, oh, look at these authoritarian Stalinist Russians with their public services. It's like, no, this is like Putin's Russia sucks in a lot of ways, but like, this is really cool, actually. You know?
This is also not something installed or instituted by Putin's Russia.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm just the fact that he hasn't like disassembled it so he could like buy ivory armchairs for oil executives is a fucking miracle.
You gave him such a horrifying idea, Bo.
Yeah.
I hope we all enjoyed the last annual Moscow Parade of Service meeting.
I guarantee you, he has armchairs made of far worse things than ivory.
Made of arms. Tiny little baby arms,
made of arms
welded together.
Oh, Jesus.
It's the throne of bones.
Yeah, we just decided to feature this because it is like a really wholesome fucking event that in you know, the American culture, capital T, capital A, capital C, we just take as like, oh, isn't this so hokey and silly? It's like, no, that fucking rules. Tip your garbage man.
Yeah, and I don't want to say
Garbage
that we're
person.
ignorant Americans, but
Everybody
I
can
believe
move
it's
trash.
pronounced culture. Am I right?
Yeah, juicy culture.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. Randy Culture, famous MMA fighter.
Juicy. Juicy spelled Juche.
Oh, that is fantastic sweatpants merch. Zach,
Oh, no, yeah, that idea's been had. Yeah, trust me. I would still buy a pair if there was somewhere easy to do it, but
Juicy culture.
yeah, just I've already got those sweatpants that say "bored" across the ass, so might as well add to my collection.
Yeah. Also had that discussion with Rob in the Dumb and Awful Discord. So waiting for that reference to be made in their episode as well. So I just wanted to make sure that we got it in ours too.
Yeah, get the podcast extended universe up to date on the lore.
Yeah. Okay. So what if we did like we took it one step further though? Okay, and we find some guy from North Korea who does cover songs of hip hop, and we call him Juicy J. Huh? That's how we get one step ahead of it. Okay.
Absolutely. Oh no, we make a drink line, or we do a gum line, Juicy Fruit.
Nice.
Oh hell yes.
We do the drink line, Juicy Juice. All
get-
right.
Problematic leftists drinking their Jesus juice. You know. Like,
Oh, damn.
Yeah, Juche and Juice are becoming more and more not homonyms by the second, and they already weren't really ones to start. So this, we're really running the tires bald on this bit here.
who could
guys.
forget that famous leftist Italian assassin El Juche? I enjoy how we were trying to talk about a legitimately cool parade, and now we've been like, fuck that, dumb puns. Let's do this. This is who we are. This
Yeah.
is.
Well, so that leads me into my next idea. Why the fuck isn't there a podcasters parade? You know? Yeah.
I mean,
it's
we would
just
we
a
would
bunch
have
of
to
dorks
step outside
on
in the
flatbeds
sun.
with
I mean-
desks and microphones, and
Yeah, the day after the Macy's parade in New York City, all of
Yeah.
the podcasters in NYC come out and have a parade as well.
It's podcasters / cleaning crews.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, they give the cleaning crews a day off for the Macy's Day Parade because all the trash is going to be showing up the next day. Ha! Hacha! Get it? Because we're trash.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Damn.
Yeah.
Why do we need trashmen? For the podcasters. Anyways, thanks for coming to my parade.
/ podcast. It's a bunch of, like, of course everybody's trying to fucking record during it because it's like, oh, it's the fucking parade, you gotta.
This is
And,
the
you know, it's just a
Oh,
bunch of,
God.
like, noise of traffic pissed off that there's another parade happening. It definitely hasn't
just-
been cleared, you know,
With
and it's New York, so
episode
people are...
titles, with episode titles, you know, like, oh, the podcasters parade live featuring Kelton from Psychic Dolphin Garage, Rob from Dumb and Awful, Ev from Dumb Bitch Media, Zach from Psychic Dolphin Garage, John from Beep Beep Lettuce. The title keeps crawling on.
It's a terrible supergroup of everyone from everything.
It's the most ambitious crossover event.
Yeah.
Bo still having to master the audio of all of those tracks.
There's so many tracks that it literally takes Bo the rest of his entire fucking life to master this one episode.
What a way to go. You just fucking 100 years from now, archaeologists come to my apartment. There's just a mummy sitting in front of Audacity, like, still not knowing what the fuck to do.
This well-preserved giant fetus.
Still fucking around, browsing Twitter or something.
Bo, you're like mid-reply to a Drill tweet. Drill will never see the things you reply to his tweets, but you still do it.
Of course I'm a drill reply guy.
Absolutely.
Because at least the people who follow you will see you reply to Drill's tweets.
I'm very funny on the internet, yes.
I mean, I guess that's where people should find us, huh? On the internet?
Oh,
right?
That was slick. Yes, absolutely.
They should use the internet to discover us, our social media, and our outreach campaigns.
Yeah. I guess if you guys want to join our Discord, you can. There's going to be a link in the show notes. If you want to leave us a voicemail, though, you motherfuckers absolutely should.
And people have, too. We'll get to those in a moment here.
Yeah. But, I mean, that phone number is 512-402-2089. So I think we should just dive right on into these voicemails, see what these motherfuckers have for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I say that kindly, my fans who I adore, and each of you are precious, sweet little, I don't know, piss pigs.
Okay, I was going to say fans is a strong word. Piss pigs is a whole other fucking ballpark.
Yeah. Sweet little piss pigs. How about that?
Oh, don't make this worse.
Hello, this is Lord Milanese. I'm calling to ask a question for the Psychic Dolphin Garage podcast. My question to them is, how do you deal with depression and existential crises of being a revolutionary at a time when the left is basically at like an all-time low in terms of like labor rights, exploitation, the existential threat of climate change and whatnot? Thank you.
This is a really good question because I recently, a friend of mine, I saw her post on social media or whatever about like her family literally held an intervention of like, hey, you're too angry about capitalism. You need to like take care of yourself sometimes. And like, yeah, it's entirely valid to be pissed off and revolted by everything that's happening in the world these days because, things are fucking revolting, to say the absolute least of it. My advice, other than as far as dealing with depression and existential crises, other than just like pound and bruise like an absolute animal, don't recommend that. Do not do that because, I mean, I'm a youngish person. My body should probably work better than it does, but it doesn't. However, my good advice is, cultivate relationships with the people you love. Take care of them. Let them know that you are there to take care of them, and in turn, build communities. Like I am not super up on like a lot of anarchist thought, but the stuff I have read and am into is a lot of that kind of stuff. Of like, we can't rely on any of the fucking higher up hierarchy shit to take care of us. I'm rambling a bit, but my point is, fucking take care of people. And
yeah, and
I guess if I could tack on to that, I think a good way, at least in my summary, would be read global but fuck local.
Friend local, you don't have to fuck everyone.
I mean, like,
some people are going to be into that. It's fine.
Find your own special polycule as you think about the existential horrors of climate change, and then find your own way to get hot and heavy from that. I guess,
Oh.
is what I'm saying.
Thank you for adding some levity to my fucking rambling. Yeah. But no, but I mean that is the thing though. Like at the end of the day, you know, we're a social species, and we got to fucking look out for each other.
We're a
and Lord knows
socialist
the people.
species.
We are a socialist species, exactly, and we got to look out for each other. And Lord knows the fucking people in charge aren't. So yeah,
Yeah,
do that.
and I would build on to that, and I would say like things you can do to build your communities are, you know, building skills, sharing skills with other people, participating in direct action.
yeah,
You know, participating in community work,
Yeah.
stuff that, you know, stuff that other people are organizing, or stuff that you're organizing. You know,
Yeah.
if
And-
that's what helps you, if organizing it feels like an outlet, then, you know, you should do that as an outlet. If it doesn't, then, you know, then don't go work on things that are going to, you know, further deepen the strife that you feel, and
Yeah.
deepen the. Sorry.
And no. I was just gonna say that's exactly the thing. Is like, you know, when people say organize, a lot of the time the baggage of that term is explicitly political. You know, you're knocking doors, or you're, you know, building
Organize
signs that
a D&D
organize a protest
campaign.
or something. I mean, yeah, that might not have the most far-reaching effects, but you know, I mean, say one of your friends is fucking lonely and alienated. You know, just getting together once a week with people in what is essentially a kind of familial environment might be nice. You know, fucking start a gardening club in your neighborhood, or start some sort of mutual aid thing where, like, hey, you know, we're all neighbors. Let's all know each other, and not make it a weird fucking boomer ass neighborhood watch thing, but make it a thing of like, if anybody, like, you know, needs like their fucking deck fixed, or like some help with something around the home, or like, you know, you're sick and you fucking need some help. I don't know. I don't know the vagaries of everybody's situation, but just helping people and being nice.
Yeah, the one thing you shouldn't do, though, is start a fucking podcast, okay?
Yeah, don't
You know?
do that.
That's
I
our
definitely
corner.
advise against
Get the
that.
fuck off of it, okay?
No,
Come on
The
now.
market-
It's already an oversaturated market.
don't start a podcast in that it contributes nothing of value to humanity. Don't be a drunk, and don't start a podcast. That's my advice.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
don't,
why you need to join our fantasy football league and do a whole bunch of cocaine with us, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
That is the only ethical consumption. Yes.
Also, like I guess in terms of, like, you know, alienation, I'm gonna say gaming, because I have to. You build communities. Obligatory play video games with other people, because the video games are good and universal, and you can support people that are doing artistic work. And you can also just make art yourself, or go, you know, go make art, go find some place to make a creative outlet for yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that you can do that nobody can ever stop you from doing.
That's a form of building community right there.
And it's a form of revolution in and of itself. Like nobody can tell you to stop making art. Nobody can tell you your art is bad. Your art is good, no matter what it looks like, and it will always be good because it's something you made and it's something you put thought into.
I believe it was
Beautiful.
early 21st century philosopher Little Nas X who said, "Can't nobody tell me nothing," and I think
Absolutely.
that's something that then you know, we should all take to heart a little
Yeah.
bit. So, I mean, hopefully their genuine answers and my snarkiness can comfort you a little bit, give you a little bit of solidarity, though. Sorry that you're going through these feelings of isolation.
Yeah, because
I think
shit sucks. Yeah,
I
no
think it should
lie.
go without saying, though, that if you wanted to ever reach out to us, wanted to talk, I mean, we might not be immediately awake. We can't promise like an immediate response, but feel free, slide into those DMs. We promise that
Yeah.
we'll keep everything PG related and really not try and recruit you to whatever various campaigns we got going on ourselves. But
And I mean, Hearts of
just
Iron
let us
4
know.
campains.
yeah, I mean, like, inevitably we're gonna push you into that. But
Yeah, you're definitely gonna be roped into playing some video games.
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
other than that,
but
for a fucking fantasy league, huh?
Okay, it's a multi-stage process. Okay, we meet people where they're at, and then we radicalize from within. Okay, yeah,
Radicalize them into fantasy football. Right.
yeah,
Gotcha.
that's right.
Good.
That's right.
Okay. I think it's at this point we should probably move on to the next
Yeah.
next one.
Let's see what's coming up next. Let's check it out.
Hey, what's up, Psychic? Dolphin Garage, this is your boy Nico, and I have two questions for you. One, I've seen that picture of Bernie's hog and how huge it is, and what do you think of it? And two, the question is, who do you think is going to be the Democrat nominee for president? Not who you want, but who do you think is actually going to get it? Look deep in your hearts and your cynical hearts and make that determination. Just want to say thanks again for the podcast. Follow me on Twitter at KazooieSaysBree. Trying to get that internet clout. Thanks.
Dude, it faded out right at the end there.
Yeah,
what the
right
fuck?
right on the handle. Yeah, I didn't quite catch that, but thank you, Nico, for your question, questions rather. Yeah, what do y'all think of Bernie's hog and how huge it is?
I mean, like, I think that it's clear that he's got a big dick Bernie, you know.
Big dick energy.
Yeah. It's really cool. I think Offset should be worried knowing that Cardi B was hanging out with Bernie Sanders on the DL, you know.
On the real DL.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
that D is L. That's why it's called
nice.
the DL.
Nice. Yeah. And he's an older gentleman, so that's not all that's hanging. Yeah, I mean, of course, not to sound old-fashioned. Of course, the size of a man's dick is not the size of his dick, the dick in his heart, rather. I mean, there are men without dicks who have bigger dicks, so
in their
to speak.
heart.
In their heart, yeah. But Bernie's packing something, which
He's
is
packing
a
a
sentence
bowl.
that
Is what he's
yeah.
packing.
like that's like a lot of people like a couple years ago were like, oh wow, 2016 is so crazy, right? But it's just gotten crazier since. But like I think we've gotten used to it. So yeah, I stand by big old long hogs for socialism.
Hogs for Pogs is the name of our new charity.
But enough about me buying Tinder Gold. Anyway, that was really grody. I apologize. Anyway, as far as the second question goes, who do we think is going to be the Democrat nominee for president?
I maintain
Not
Elizabeth
Bernie.
Warren.
I mean, I'm. Shit, that's a real tough question because you never know, honestly. Because like on the one hand, Biden's other eye could pop, but like actually full on pop mid speech, and he just keeps going like a fucking T-1000. But conversely, that might also not even hurt his ratings at all. So
What
I
I'm
think it. Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Keep
I'm
going.
saying I think it's gonna be Biden that they pop up there. They're gonna pinch off that same turd they did, in 2016, and we're just gonna have to roll the dice and pray.
Yay.
Like, I'd like to be optimistic. I mean, I know literally the last question was about, like, hey, how do you not stay depressed? But,
by not thinking about the fact that they
electoral
come from the
politics
same.
are a fucking bad reality show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cut-
Maybe not host a weekly comedy news podcast where we look over what stories were big on social media, arguably
Yeah.
the worst part of the internet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Biden is my expectation. I would love to be proven wrong, but I'm not. I guess I'm not getting my hopes up.
I think I'm scared of a newcomer to the conversation because I have been confronted several times this week specifically. Now that the board has been cleaned out a little bit of like corporate Dems. And I'm actually starting to worry that Yang is going to pick up some momentum.
But like enough though.
No.
Like nominee because I could see him being VP for somebody. Actually, I could see that very much being the case.
He would have to
Interesting.
win the executive branch. There's no way that he would be made president of the Senate with not having that experience. I mean, that just
yeah.
would be.
He would be he would have somebody experienced that he would pick up as his VP. Bernie VP for Yang. Would that be a better position for Bernie?
Jesus Christ!
Absolutely
don't make
not.
Me think
No.
this.
How fucking dare?
Yeah,
I mean,
I always
as
said
opposed
that.
to nothing. Yes, but
I always said that Warren is the poster child because she's like professional managerial class. She's got a plan for everything. She gets
She's
up
a
on
fucking
stage.
realtor. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a realtor. She gets
she
up on
has
stage.
a
She can speak.
brochure for everything. It's not
Okay.
a full blown plan.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah. So she's your pick then?
I
Not your
still
pick,
don't.
but your pick for who you think they're going to nominate.
I don't see any reason why she wouldn't be. Like, Biden's up there. Biden's a punching bag for Warren, for Harris, and Castro is getting in on it a little bit. Like, I'm sure he's being held up, but there's
Okay.
I'm not so far gone to believe that they're going to continue with him.
Let's do our own supposed presidential nomination and their VP. So, Bo, you go first.
Shit. I don't even. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't even know who they do for. I mean, maybe like Biden Harris. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just like big depression mode right now. I don't fucking know. But something
Biden
like
Harris
that
is
for sure.
pretty. Yeah, I could see that. I think.
Would that be who you would guess, though, Bo? Or
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, like that's absolutely not what I want, of course. But that's what I would. If they do Biden, I would probably expect Harris, or, I mean, like, maybe they like bring on somebody actually decent, like Castro or something, who like doesn't have as much a chance for the presidency itself, but is still a pretty significant runner. I think Yang would actually like make a decent VP for whoever. Maybe, I don't know, but I don't think I think he's a little too out there for them to like actually.
Yang gets a cabinet position.
Yeah, Yang,
exactly.
Yang definitely seems like if anything, like a Department of Labor or something like that.
Yeah,
he's got
kinda
that
like
locked in the cabinet energy.
Lord.
Wait,
what?
wait, is that a fucking R. Kelly reference? That's Trapped in the Closet.
Yeah, no, that's not R. Kelly. He's got that Harry Potter locked in the room under the stairs energy.
That's not a cabinet.
That's who was locked in the cabinet? Hansel and Gretel energy. Hansel and
R.
Gretel.
Kelly,
the
R.
movie.
Kelly
in
was
the
trapped in the
wardrobe?
closet. That's all I'm saying.
You mean he's been locked in a fantasy land?
Ooh.
Anyway, I'm really glad that R. Kelly is now trapped in another closet. That closet being hell. He's not dead, but he should be.
Haha, parody,
in Minecraft,
satire.
parody, satire.
Yeah, Zach, who's your pick?
I think Warren, and if I think about it, I think Warren Castro.
That would actually be, I mean, like, not good.
But that's like
I'd settle for that. Like, hardcore settle for that. Like,
yeah, and like that, I think that depends on which faction wins out, because that's like a super progressive, like green leftist, eco leftist, like ticket.
ostensibly, yeah.
I mean, is it super green, super eco leftist?
But it comes across that way.
Yeah, I know, but it, like that's the
like
people.
optics-wise.
Yeah, and that's who they would back, and I'm not sure which faction of the DNC is like in power right now.
Yeah.
Or which one is, going to be making the calls, because if it's not Biden Harris, it's Warren Booker or Warren Castro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Warren Booker sounds more realistic, but I think Warren Castro sound more on brand. So I'm not sure. I'm between Booker and Castro. I probably want to believe Castro more. So I guess if I'm going for odds, it's Warren Booker.
It's Beto.
Beto.
Yeah.
It's actually Booker. Surprise.
Corey.
Oh, shit, yeah. Corey and Carrie, baby. Corey in the house.
If I had to pick a candidate who I think probably or the candidates I would have to pick. Real darkest timeline type stuff, but I really think it would be Biden Sanders. And then I think that they would lose, and I think people would then blame Sanders.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
yeah. Oh wow, that's real bad. Because I mean, I posited Biden Harris as like, of course they're gonna fucking lose because it's Joe goddamn shuffling corpse Biden. But
Yeah,
shit,
I can just see
to put that evil on Bernie Sanders on top of that. It's just
he signed the loyalty pledge, and I firmly disagree with him having done that this early in the game, because he's now basically said that he will go on the campaign trail for anyone. And so if you're the DNC, you want Biden because of the connection with neoliberal Obama, and you want all of the good feelings, right?
Yeah.
And if you can manage to string him along enough to where then he's the closer, but at every rally he's speaking for maybe 5 to 8 minutes at the end, or even at the beginning, and then you have Bernie as the real hook, and you have
that's
him
what you're saying, yeah.
go through and be the one who can give mass appeal. But you pitch it as, well, with Bernie as president of the Senate, that's how we'll really push things along. And you'll have the people like the Think Progress types, or what were the Think Progress types, be like, hey guys, no, it's okay, because actually Bernie will have all of this legislative power. He'll be like the Dick Cheney of it all. And, Biden will just be a front, and that's how we'll get sold on it. And that's what I think will be real darkest timeline, because then inevitably we'll lose, because Biden still has to face off against Trump, essentially, is how the average American voter will view it. Yeah, and he'll just get destroyed on issues like prison reform and the crime bill, and on drug legalization, things like that. So even though it would be Biden as the reason that they lose, it will all get blamed on Bernie, and those ideas are too radical, and they don't actually work with the American people. And so then we'll never see the light of that again for, I don't know, 5 or 6 election cycles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah, fantastic.
Well, what a great note to end the episode off on, huh?
yeah, I'm sorry. And then that ties into the fact that then Tucker Carlson will take that populist movement from Trump and Bernie, and then when he inevitably
go full
runs,
Masball with it, yeah.
Yep, and then he'll seize control, and that'll be in 2028 or whenever the fuck. And then, yeah, cool. We'll have like a 15-foot high border wall everywhere, and some weird...
a border wall around every state.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
A chicken in every pot and a border wall at every state.
Well, no, you got to keep those people from getting the devil's lettuce out of Colorado and California and all those other lib states,
The Texas wall is twice as tall as any of the other walls, out of principle.
Everything's bigger in Texas. And Texas ignores that same wall is also shared with Louisiana and Oklahoma and Arkansas.
No, they let those states build their own walls, and then they built another one inside of that
Another wall like 5 feet away, yeah?
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's
that would
bigger
be,
and taller.
honestly, like we joke, but that's some shit that Texas would pull. So
New York housing market would look at those 5 feet in between the two walls and be like, we could put a complex here.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Jesus.
y'all, suppose that's been an episode.
Yeah. I guess this is time for us to do some plugs, right, fellas?
Yeah, last minute plug shit.
Yeah, plugs.
Be sure and check us out, or check out our guest appearance on Cold Pizza Party, where we discussed the Real Housewives of Dallas. That really was super fun. We'll include a link in the show notes. And then me and Zach were on an upcoming episode of Does It Slap, discussing that awful band Hollywood Undead. That's going to be coming out later this week. Also later this week, a new 15 Million Flowers episode discussing open borders with, is it the founder? Or
yes,
is
the
he
founder.
Just the main
He's the only admin currently.
Yeah, you say founder like it's not just some dude running a meme page.
Yeah, well, I mean, still, the main admin, then, of Libertarian Memes for Neoliberal Teens, and it was surprisingly pleasant. I was shocked, needless to say.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty normal dude, other than the whole libertarian thing.
Being a goddamn capitalist.
Yeah, other than believing that the free market is actually free and not controlled solely by the state creation of and violent protection of capital.
But listen, we're talking open borders there. So the next time around, that's when the kid gloves can come off. And then this Thursday at 7 p.m., right? That's when we're doing it?
Yes,
Bumping
7
it up a
p.m.
little bit.
Central Standard Time.
Whoa. We are going to continue the Urban Outfitters series, even though we're shortening it up a little bit. We're going to be doing Pathfinder on Thursday. So it was real fun last week to hang out with all the people who tuned into the stream, shaking things up with Brett from Dumb and Awful, John from Beep Beep Lettuce. And,
A lot of lovely folks, yep.
Yeah. So then this Thursday, we're looking forward to talking Pathfinder. Should be
And hopefully after this we can get some. We'll start recording it and maybe posting some highlights to YouTube of the stream. But that's kind of in the works. Depending on going forward, how our streams go, we probably will be moving it to Friday.
Well, more people seem to be available on that, but we'll see. God forbid we stream on multiple days, right, people? But we're getting there. We promise. No. Yeah. Good things to work. Any last thoughts, guys?
Dude, it's bold of you to assume I have any thoughts, period. I ain't never thought a goddamn thing in my life.
It's very good that excuse me. It's very good that that I was given free reign this week to do nothing but work on electronics projects, because not only did I not really complete any of the projects that I wanted to complete, I've also started 3 more. So
Nice.
vacation is bad for me.
Well, I mean, it's something that's brutally necessary, though. So
Yeah, an 80-hour work week is good, actually.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you need a vacation from your vacation, so that way then you
Whoa.
can work 85 hours a week.
Yeah.
Boost that productivity.
Absolutely. I gotta take time off of taking time off so that I can, have enough money to take time off. Because it's a libertarian hell and we don't actually have paid time off.
It's always Margaritaville somewhere.
It's always Margaritaville in your mom.
Ooh.
Well, that's a show, folks.
Yeah, that actually bleeds into my final thought, that if bored suburban housewives get to use the hot wife hashtag, maybe it's time leftists decide to take over the trot wife one. Okay, guys. Deuces. Thanks for listening to another episode of Psychic Dolphin Garage. Check out our link tree in the show notes so you can join our Discord, watch us on Twitch, and find our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or pretty much wherever you get your podcasts. Word of mouth is still the best way for us to bring this weird leftist show to as many people as we possibly can, so if you like the episode, please share it with someone. Anyone. Just one other person at your school or office or parole hearing who you think might like what we do. We trust your judgment. Go ahead and also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Dolphin Garage. Our music is provided by Amoeba Crew. Find them on Twitter at Amoeba Crew. You can find the link to their YouTube page in our episode description.